Hello, welcome to another episode of Just a Girl Sitting Under a Tree Asking It to Love Her. I just walked up to the two trees I want to sit under to read this book, and it kind of forms like an archway. This is a path, and the path continues through these trees going that way. And if we have any mountain bikers, we will be in trouble. I will have to move very, very quickly. So I'm just setting up the camera. And these two trees today, right dab in the middle of the path, their roots intertwine under the path. I think that's just kind of neat, and I've always liked walking through these trees. So that is why I chose these ones today. The book I chose today, sorry, let me set up. Might be a bit wobbly for a sec. The book I chose today has a very colorful title. And colorful, I mean a bit provocative in just the language it uses. It's called Unfuck Yourself. Gary John Bishop is the author. It was a New York Times bestseller in 2017. This is a first edition. I do know that this is supposed to represent fuck because in later subsequent printings, it does use FU. Oh. I'm just reading a book under a tree. Sorry.
Sorry about that.
I know, I'm sorry.
Enjoy.
I will. Thank you. So, with that excitement, next time I think I won't choose sitting directly in the middle of the path. This trail is relatively quiet. I can go for a walk for like 2 hours and maybe see one biker. So I knew I had a pretty good chance of not seeing a biker, but if they're coming, they come quick. So I'm gonna sit a little bit off to the side against just this one. I'll have a better chance of moving out of the way. But these trees were chosen, and today's theme is relentlessness, as you will see from the passage. So I am stuck with you, two trees. I shall not move. So subsequent printings use the word fuck, and they took out the... Oh, we have another biker coming. It's a busy path today. Or it's just the gentleman that passed that shifted up ahead. This is going to be action-packed. Subsequent printings did use very clearly that they intended to use the word fuck. So I will say, pardon my French, and every pun intended today with the sweatshirt that I picked out. And I shall read from the book. I did choose a specific passage, and the theme is relentlessness. It stood out to me, it resonated with me. Although the examples used didn't specifically resonate with me, it made me think of examples in my life where I got out of a very unstuck situation just being relentless. So I'll read what the author wrote and let it simmer with you however it does. You are relentless. So it's in the middle of a chapter, and this particular segment just says, you are relentless. When you're not sure if you're following the right path, as we're literally sitting on a path today, when you've been knocked down a few too many times, it's completely fine to get discouraged. Hell, even defeated. What's not okay is to stop. Because you can always lean on relentlessness. When you have nothing else, you have relentlessness. Rather than worrying about whether you should keep going or turn back, press in relentlessly. Relentlessness has one direction, and that's forward. It only has one option, and that's to keep the momentum going. There's no giving up, there's no quitting, there's no changing of plans. Relentlessness is the bodybuilder who goes to the gym for hours every day. Relentlessness is the prospective entrepreneur who has been ridiculed or rejected for their completely original idea but keeps pitching it anyway. Relentlessness is the overweight mom who feels like she's never going to get there. Relentlessness is the newly minted college graduate at the bottom of the corporate ladder, barely making enough to pay her rent, yet she's staying at the office later than anyone else just to learn as much as she can. Relentless is you. Anyone who's ever gone to the gym knows that the results aren't immediate. You don't spend 30 minutes on a treadmill and look like a new person. But that doesn't mean that what you're doing isn't working. You're making progress with each step, with each exercise rather, each step, each movement, each action. You get a little better, a little closer, until one day you look in the mirror and think, wow. It's the same thing with your business or your health or your career or your relationships. Even when you don't see anything happening, it is. Even when you're not quite hitting the mark, you're making progress. A biker on a subsequent path. Not gonna hit us. Until one day you look at your bank balance or your new job or your children or your new house and you think, wow. He likes the word wow. Wow is a good exclamation. Means something positive is usually happening. Not all the time though. That's why you have to keep going relentlessly. Because when you're trekking through the jungle, you don't know if you're 3 days from civilization or 30 minutes. All you can do is walk. The only way out is forward. Sit up. Straighten your spine. Pretend a balloon is... That's not part of the book, but I remember when people used to say that. They're like, pretend a balloon is floating. Helps you think about... Straighten your spine and repeat after me. I am relentless. And I chose that because it resonated, the relentless part. There's been times I've felt stuck. This may as well say unstick yourself. As well, because I've used the example of being so stuck in life, talking about a time in my life where I just felt like there was no out. But one thing I did have was relentlessly looking for a way out. So that's why this resonated with me today. I would love to hear about a time you unfucked yourself, you unstuck yourself. That's probably not proper English. But I'd love to hear your anything that you want to share, as vulnerable as you want to get. Because sometimes when we're out of a situation, it can be good talking about it and looking back and sharing with others how you were able to get out of that situation, because sometimes it helps share. Sharing helps motivate other people who are at the moment feeling stuck. And there's been times people have had believing eyes for me to get out of my unfucked situation. So being relentless is the theme today with this book and why I chose it.